Okay, so for the what we're going to do for this morning and probably most of the afternoon is we're going to start a new project. And the basic structure is this project will be the project we do over the next 2 weeks. And we will start small and add features to it. And those features will use features in App Engine. So we're going to be learning App Engine by building the project. And I hope that that makes it a little easier to, so it's not abstract, it's very concrete what we're going to be trying to do. Because many of the features we want to add can only be done using those services in App Engine. So, and the basic project we're going to build is a Twitter clone. We're going to make our own version of Twitter. The reason I chose Twitter is because it's a relatively simple application that as you build it, you will start to see interesting things about it that are challenging. And so, but it's simple to start with. And so Twitter, if you're not familiar with Twitter, is a micro-blogging platform, right? It's not really blogging. You post a message, that message can be up to 140 characters long. Everybody on the world can see that message, so everything is public, okay? That makes some things a lot easier for us, right? And so to get started, like our first go at this Twitter clone, what we're going to build is, it needs the following. So there should be a home page that has a login button and lists recent tweets. So if I go to my appspot.com/, just slash without the username. Sorry, that's the wrong. If I just go to the home page, if you go to the home page of Twitter right now and you're not logged in, what you'll see is a bunch of tweets, and how they show up is not super relevant. We just want to show recent tweets, and then there'll be like a login and sign up button at the top. And this login button, the way we want to implement it is you click it and it does a Google login. Okay, you can use Google logins. And then once you're signed up, login and sign up when you use Google logins are kind of the same thing because it automatically does that for you. So it says, user accounts can be done with standard Google login. Account should not be required to view someone's tweets, but should be required to post tweets. So you can see this page, and you can see this page down here without being logged in. Okay? But if you want to post a tweet, you have to be logged in. And that's the same as Twitter works. So we want to say the first time a user logs in, they should be required to create a username. So if you want to think about this on the back end, how you might do that, you might have a profile or an account or some object associated with the user's email address. You fill that in and you look and you say, is there a username field filled in? If there's not, then you should send them to this page where they create one. Okay, if there is, then they can go on to the home page or whatever. And they need to choose a username, and that's their @ name, right? Just like in Twitter, how you have an @ whatever. We need to do that ourselves. It's not their email address, it's another name that they come up with, okay? Because not everybody wants to show other people their email address. So the first time a user logs in, they should be required to create a username, and that's what they'll use to tweet. Okay, and then tweet should be visible on a user's profile. So in this case, so we have the URL slash, right? We had slash, and this is the home page. Remember, it has login and all that stuff. Then we have slash, and for example, slash Caleb would be the user's page, right? So, and what it should show is their tweets in order of most recent, right? So the first tweet you should see is the most recent tweet they've tweeted. Okay? Does that make sense? Everybody following? If you've used Twitter, this is hopefully familiar. So there's two routes. I have homepage and then I have slash username. And then if you're logged in the top right, you'll have a tweet button. So I have this tweet button. I can click that. It pops up a little overlay dialog thing using JavaScript. And then there's a text box here, enter a bunch of text, hit submit or tweet, whatever you want to call that button. And it will cause a tweet. It'll send a tweet to your post. So these are the public tweets that everybody can see. Everybody following? Later we'll add other features like messaging, but for now we just want to do the public timeline kind of tweet. So for login user, top right should have tweet button, display an overlay with a form inside of it. Submitting the form should create a new tweet. And there should also be a logout button. Crucially, this logout button should not cause you to be logged out of your Gmail account. Okay? So the regular logout button that Google provides you with using App Engine will cause them to be logged out of their Google account. We just want to log them out of our fake Twitter. Okay? So that's a subtlety, but We'll figure it out. And then, you know, the limits on the size. And you should use an AJAX API to implement the tweet submission. So it's up to you if you want to render the tweets on JavaScript or render them using a template. I think for most people, the template's going to be easier. So in other words, we built that other application using templates, and then we built the to-do one using AJAX. I think the to-do one was a little harder if you're not super comfortable with JavaScript. So you can render the tweets and stuff using regular Go templates. But you have to have this part be AJAX, okay?
You have to have that part of the web.
The part where you post a tweet, that has to be done using AJAX. But, for example, you could submit it, it posts it, and then when it's done, reload the page. That's okay, you can do that. But I'm saying it's up to you how you want to draw your tweets. So if it's easier, just use a Go template. Use a Go template, that's fine.
Can you do with JavaScript without AJAX? Or is that?
So the traditional way you would do this is you'd have a separate page with a form on it, you click submit. What I'm saying is we want to have an overlay.
Yeah.
We want it to behave more like how Twitter behaves. I click tweet and it brings up a JavaScript overlay. I click submit and that form is submitted via AJAX.
Is AJAX necessary to get done with regular JavaScript?
AJAX, you don't have, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to do it with AJAX. I could make this form have an action and it would cause the whole page. I'm just asking you to use AJAX to implement this bit, okay? Well, because we just did it, right? With the to-do application.
Doesn't mean I understand.
Yeah, yeah. I can help you guys. It's not super hard. It's like maybe 10 lines of code to do that. So, and that's that's where we want to start. And like I said, don't think this is a project that we want to finish in an hour. That's not the intention here. The intention is to get a basic version of this application up and running for everybody to get there. Okay, and then we're going to use it to learn other pieces of admin. And so, you know, for example, I'm going to talk about logging a little, which we kind of already talked about, and then rejection queries, and so on. And then we're going to layer in other features. You know, followers, that's a big deal in Twitter. But the first version doesn't have to have followers. Just the idea of you just go to this person's name and you see all the tweets. You don't even have the notion of followers. We'll add them later. Okay? Everybody following? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? Perfect.